Tune in to the Diva Hustle Show.
Hey, you guys. Thanks for tuning in to the Diva Hustle Show. Today, our guest is Yassin Hall. She's the boss of the Amazon business, right?
Yes,
So, thanks, Yassin, for coming in. How are you today?
I am pretty good. Pretty good. No complaints at all. Feeling kind of blessed today.
That's good. That's good. So, how did you start your coming to becoming an entrepreneurship? What was that feeling, or did you know you wanted to be an entrepreneur?
Not really. My uncle was an entrepreneur. He had his own law firm, but he was the only one in the family that had their own business. Everyone else either worked for the government, was a teacher, or something like that. So, and he didn't really introduce it to me. I did work with him, but the ins and out of being an entrepreneur, I didn't see that part.
Okay.
I didn't even realize that I was too young. I didn't even realize that him having a law firm was being an entrepreneur. I just looked at it as a whole different, well, that's what attorneys do. They have their own buildings,
Right.
never looked at it as that. Um, I kind of walked into entrepreneurship by accident, by necessity,
Okay.
where my last son was actually born with autism.
Okay.
So because he was born with autism, I had to quit my 15-year career job of working in the government in IT.
Mhm.
And I started selling books on Amazon to just do a little, so I can be sustaining in the marriage
Okay.
and sell books. And that did pretty good in the beginning. Of course, Amazon started with books in the garage. I started selling in the garage their books. And that was good enough income for me because my ex-husband made pretty good money to sustain all of us.
Right.
But I've always been that I need to have my own. I don't like asking people to, even if it's your child, I don't want to ask you for money to go buy your child clothes. I want to be able to just go out and buy the clothes and you don't have to worry about that, or, contribute to the household somehow. And yeah, by necessity, by necessity, I had no other choice but to become an entrepreneur. And ever since I walked into that realm, I did not know that my life needed to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
So we have my son. I also have two other sons. So my oldest son is actually suffer from bipolar and
Okay.
live successfully bipolar. And then my second son, through the divorce, he started going through childhood depression and is living successfully with his depression. My son, my baby boy, was born with autism, and my daughter was diagnosed with autism at 14.
Okay.
So that's what I said. Life kind of made me become an entrepreneur because corporate life would not have looked
Right.
I had to be there for my kids. I had to be in the classroom 5 days a week and then be a mom
Right.
for them, for different dynamics during the evening. So I had to make it work. There was no other option for me to do.
Right. Right. So when you started selling on Amazon, what year was that
Ooh,
around? You remember?
19, 17 years ago, I have to do calculate. 19. I want to say 96, 97.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And so now we're in what, 2022, right? How has you seen being like selling on Amazon? How has it changed since
Oh
then?
gosh. Ooh, boy, has it changed. So, I've seen the evolution of Amazon now, right? I was the only African American selling on the platform back then,
Okay.
on record.
Wow.
So I've seen that we had to upload the books via DOS prompt and using an Excel spreadsheet and upload it.
Wow.
Yeah, I just told my age, but so I've seen, and of course too, because I have a program background. Anytime Amazon has set out a message saying, "Would you like to be a beta tester for this part of the program?" I've always clicked yes.
Okay.
So I get to try the platform and be one of the testers before it actually goes live.
Right.
So I get to see a lot of what's about to come and what's about to happen. So, from DOS, I saw them go to 3.1 Windows,
Okay.
which is basically just a Windows cover up of DOS, and grow into Windows. But to be totally honest with you, the algorithm hasn't changed much, as
Okay.
well as the fundamentals of Amazon. All they basically did was take that 74 column Excel spreadsheet
Okay.
and made boxes.
Wow.
Yeah, they really haven't really turned it into anything fancy Windows.
Okay.
It's still running on, I'm pretty sure, a DOS background Windows interface on top of it, basically.
So tell me, how does like someone that want to be an entrepreneur and they want to sell? Because I hear this story all the time that people want to sell on Amazon. What are some things or steps they have to go through?
Well, the first thing becomes you have to decide if Amazon is for you. That is the biggest thing. A lot of people say, "Oh, this person is making a lot of money," or they see me and they go, "Oh, she's a millionaire making money off of Amazon. I want to do what she does," without doing the research. You got to know what you're walking into. The Amazon days years ago is not the Amazon today.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there's always bad apples that make you have to implement much policies and programs and steps to make it a little difficult to protect the customers and to protect the sellers and of course protect Amazon.
Right.
The first thing you have to do is the application process. You have to get your store approved. It's not something that you can just figure it out. Amazon does not give you any steps. They don't give you any help in the creation process. There's no, they just said upload and you're like, what? you know, you really don't know. And they don't explain to you that your driver's license and your bank statement must match.
Right.
And this is for identity purposes, right? They don't tell you how to download your PDF. You need a PDF file from your bank statement that has your logo and your address and everything on it. It's a bot that's searching this information. It's not a human being. These are things that you must know, that your driver's license front and back copy is needed, pictured on a dark surface, because the program has to scan the information. And they don't also tell you that there's some questions in the application process that's yes or no. If you don't answer those questions correctly, you won't get approved.
Wow.
And there's no help, right? And you're only allowed to have one Amazon store in your entire lifetime.
Wow.
Right. So you think they would at least tell you what to do.
Right. Yeah.
Nope. And it's per household. So if you're married and you have kids, you have to kick your husband out and your children so they can have a store. You can't have only one person in the house could have a store in your entire lifetime. So to be given those kind of restrictions, they need to be coached. They need to have a coach. Amazon system isn't hard. It's just a lot of moving parts.
Okay.
That don't necessarily come together as one. Like I said, it was chunks here from DOS, and they just pretty much went, this is the chunk,
Okay.
and that's about it. But you definitely have to have a coach because it's always changing. You need to have a coach that is in the know of the changes that are coming up, the changes that are happening, and being able to communicate those effectively to the students in a timely manner, because the system can make or break you. All of Amazon's defaults, when they give you a store, all of the defaults are defaulted to base for Amazon to win.
Wow.
And as a business, I can't be mad at it because I would do the same thing too. If I don't know what millions of customers are, not customers, of sellers are selling or want to do on Amazon, I have to start at a starting point.
Right.
So why not start at a starting point of what would benefit me?
Right.
And then you change it. However, there's no instructions to change it.
Because I see so many, like I see customers, or I'll see stores or people selling stuff on Amazon. I'll be like, well, how can like your customers? How do you drive your customers to Amazon?
And that's the tricky part. You're not driving your customers to Amazon. People do it, but to me, that's the long road.
Okay.
My thing is, I've been knowing what this customer base is since the 90s. I know what these customers are looking for. The same customers that started in the 90s are still there.
Okay.
They're still on the platform and they're still looking for the same thing every single day, every single year.
Okay.
So don't reinvent the wheel. The money is not going to come from the customers that you're wanting to bring that likes what you like.
Okay.
You need to feed the beast with the things that they already are looking for and they've consistently looked for on this platform. And you have to find out why, what items and why, and the type of clients that are shopping at Amazon. The customers that are shopping at Amazon live in Cucamonga Ranch.
Let's be real.
In the middle of godforsaken earth.
Right.
And they have to drive till tomorrow to get to a Walmart. That is Amazon's customers. And a lot of us who live in suburban America think, well, why can't they just go into Walmart? I can walk into Walmart. I can walk into Dollar Tree and Family Dollar. Who in the right mind would buy this for this amount of money that I can walk into the store? They have not driven out an hour outside of their vicinity. I can drive, and I do it almost every weekend. I drive to North Georgia. That is my way of getting away because You know, I'm busy doing multiple things as a
Right.
CEO. I just want to get away and talk to God, like
Right.
and be silent and hear the water and hike up the mountains. So when I travel an hour away,
Okay.
and even in that travel, just this weekend, we said, I don't know why I did this. I said, let's just get in the car. We'll find something to eat on the way. I knew there was no eating on the way. And by the time we got off the highway and we start making those turns, I'm like, we're going to eat dirt because there was nothing. There was no gas station.
Wow.
We didn't pass a Walmart. We didn't pass nothing. All we passed were like a peanut person selling peanuts on the road.
Oh, wow.
Those are the customers.
Right.
I just want to wave and go, hi, thank you for shopping. I know
Yeah.
that's them. I mean, they have to drive literally 45 minutes to Walmart. If I lived in there, I'd be like, no, I'll pay the extra. Delivered. Just drive up that dirt road.
Yes.
Those are the customers that I cater to and my students cater to. I'm doing very well continuously to cater to them. Those are the family ones that are still making their Christmas gifts by hand. You know what I mean? These are the customers that have the ones who are in buying TVs and DVRs and stuff like that. That's the new age customers. Do they sell? Yes.
Right.
Do they sell in abundance? No.
No, right, yeah, because you think about it, the electronics, you could go to Best Buy or Target and probably get a better deal versus buying something off of Amazon.
So, and not only that, the lifespan of the guarantee. Right. The things that they're purchasing from me, they're doing DIY, meaning they're going to need it again next year.
Yeah.
They're going to need it next month.
Yeah.
They're going to need it the month after. A TV have a 3 to 5 year warranty. How often is that person in the house going to buy a TV?
True. That's true. That's true.
You
Not often.
$30 off a TV, and then you got to do wait.
Yeah.
Might as well you keep fulfilling what it is that they're looking for every single day.
So you sell on Amazon, and then you sell on Walmart and eBay. Correct. Now, how's that experience been?
3 different types of customers. And I actually started on eBay in the early 2000s.
Okay.
Because I used to make custom clothing. And back then, that's where you would get your custom clothing was from eBay.
Right.
So I know there's those customers as well on eBay. Walmart, I started 5 years ago when my book was released. I put my book on Walmart first.
Okay.
So I started off one of the first books on Walmart.
Okay.
And then their platform is a lot harder.
Oh, wow. It's harder than Amazon.
Yeah. It's easy, but harder.
Okay.
It's different. It's trying to catch up to Amazon, but not really.
Okay. Okay.
So it's to me, of all of them, eBay is probably the easiest one to list a product. Is you can take a picture and list it.
Right.
With Walmart, there's different components, moving components, but not as much as Amazon.
Okay.
But you still have to learn both of them, and you can see where Walmart is trying to do at Amazon,
right?
But probably going, this don't make sense. We're gonna stay over here. They still have some more development programming to do in that platform. If they hire the right platform, the right programmer, their platform could take off. Really.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And so, just for the listeners, when you're reaching out to Amazon and Walmart and eBay, would you recommend that people already have their business established as far as incorporated?
Well, as a CEO, I'm not just teaching how to sell. There's a difference. I'm not teaching you how to sell on Amazon. I'm teaching you how to run a successful business on Amazon, Walmart, and eBay. Mm-hmm. And there's a difference. If anybody else's class you're learning Amazon, you're just going to learn step by step the intricate of just Amazon. Mm-hmm. With us, we teach you how to incorporate your business, because a lot in this community, that's the information that's lacking. Right. We don't have the rich and famous telling us what we should do in banking, how we should invest our money, how we should purchase this. We don't have that. Right. And I think as an African American woman, I think it's my due diligence. Right. If I'm going to be teaching somebody to be a success on Amazon, they need to have the whole package together. Yeah. From start to end, So from the beginning, we teach you how to open your store, how to open your business correctly,
Okay.
So that in the event of you needing funds, you already have your business established to apply for business credit.
Okay.
And if you come to us and say we want to know how to establish our business credit, we have somebody in the team to that.
Right.
As well as we also have an accountant that is very familiar with sellers at Amazon,
Okay.
and and how to make the business work for you
Mm-hmm.
and live through your business. So we have all those tools readily available for our students.
So, what made you start the school? What inspired you?
My daughter, my
Okay.
daughter. Amazon was already doing, and I went through divorce and I hit rock bottom, like rock bottom homeless.
Okay.
And in through that process, um, my daughter's already nonverbal. We didn't know she was autistic at the time because it didn't look like my son.
Right.
And we knew that something wasn't clicking. I just didn't know to the severity of it.
Okay.
And when we moved to Georgia, because the Florida school system was not doing it for her, they just kept passing her because she was cute, and she smiled and and they would actually say that she's the best student in the class. I'm like, but she's doing absolutely nothing,
Right.
How is that the best, And then you have my son who, he has autism, he's brilliant, and you're finding fault because he's pacing. Are you serious?
Yeah, something not
like,
matching.
So I let him graduate, and I'm like, are we going to tackle her when all the kids are out the house or with their dad? And then I'm going to have more time to just focus on her. So we moved to, after doing the research, I saw that there was so many advancement of programs when it comes to special education here in Georgia.
Okay.
And that's when we moved. And finally, I was able to get her tested.
Wow.
And they came back and they said, yes, confirmed, she has autism. And in addition to autism, she has memory retention issues. Basically, her brain hits reset every single day.
Okay.
And we just don't know which information stays and which one is gone for good. And we need to start rebuilding that and relearning that again.
Wow.
Through the business, we learned that. So once it's one of those bombshells that drop and you suddenly go, how did I miss this?
Yeah.
Because it didn't look, I saw that they had a connection where the both were in social and the both are like this.
Right.
But I didn't know that was the reason why. I just thought, he was compassionate to her and, he understood because he had disability. And when they told me autism, I dropped to the floor. I was like,
wow.
Oh my gosh. Like, it felt like somebody punched the wind out of me. And why didn't I get her services like her brother? I didn't know.
Right.
I didn't know. So when you know something and then they ruled her out, they pretty much said she'll never be able to learn. She'll never be able. They gave me all these. She can't drive. She can't go to college. She may never work in a working environment. I was like, well, what else is there for this child?
Right.
And I remember going home and just bawling, just like feeling like I failed her.
Right.
And instead of bringing it in the next day, I said, you know what? Amazon, she's been my little helper packing since 7. She doesn't complain. She's doing very well helping me.
Right.
Let me gift her own store.
Okay.
And I did that. And I put $250 in products in her store. I put $197 in mine years ago, and I put $250 inflation, $250 in her store, and I gifted it to her with hope.
Okay.
With hope. She had helped me this far. Yeah, there was a whole lot more to running a business, but maybe if she has a hands-on approach to it, she can do it.
Right.
And she took interest to it right away.
Wow.
She took real good interest into it. And there's a lot of moving puzzles, and I kept it, not the computer part. I kept all the other physical stuff to her.
Right.
And once I started seeing her loving it, I said, you know what? Let me sit down and create step-by-step videos. And maybe she'll have some, instead of asking me questions over and over again, she can come to the videos and just go straight to the videos and start doing the process.
Okay.
And it worked. It worked. And by 17, she has saved up enough money to purchase her own 5-bedroom home cash.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I had a moment where I go, tell me she can't live on her own. Don't tell me. So I used all that anger that I had to fuel my desire to see that she could do this,
Right.
And once I saw her signing the paper for her own title,
Okay.
It was in that moment I said, damn, you know how many people I could help?
Yes.
I could that been in my situation, in her situation, and I launched the course.
Wow.
I
Wow.
launched it on January 1st, and now it's 7 years later, and we have over 10,000 students.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Yeah. So how can I just think that's amazing. You know, when it comes to kids, children and autism, the system always fail them. You know what I mean? And it's almost like, well, if you don't fit in this box, then we don't want to be bothered with you. We don't want to take the time. So to hear that your daughter actually bought a 5-bedroom house and she's doing successfully, I mean, that's that's
But I
amazing.
had to move her far out of the system. I had
Right.
to move in a comfortable neighborhood in order to get her to where she's comfortable.
Right.
So
Right.
it's not a win-win per se. It's a win for her, yes.
Right.
But is
Yes.
it a win for our entire community?
No.
No.
No, no. And like you were saying, how many other women, especially parents and mothers, are going through this?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just kudos to you. My hat go off to you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And just keep up, just keep pushing.
I will.
So how can people get in contact? Like if they wanted to sign up for the class, how can they sign up for the class?
They can go to thebossclass.com.
Okay.
They can also follow me on Instagram. It's Yassin Hall, YASSINHALL. Also Yassin Hall on Facebook as well.
Okay. And so I have like 2 more questions. So how have your business survived since COVID, and how had
So it's a two-parter because I also have my own store as well. I still have my
Okay.
Amazon store. So our business has increased 50% since COVID.
Okay.
Because especially COVID, like during COVID, oh my gosh, it turned out from being a store selling things.
Okay.
During COVID, I felt like I was helping different communities who were hurting.
Wow.
Like, yeah, we started creating these kits for people, especially when New York and New Jersey got hit really hard. So they would order, say, toilet paper, but we would throw in the box hand sanitizer and paper towels and noodles and stuff like that. What we could think of that they could use.
Right.
So even though they paid like $5.99, they were getting a whole bunch of stuff because it was the human thing to do.
Right.
You know, it
Right.
was the godly thing to do. And when they would get it, they were like, "Oh, I think you mistakenly sent me my order." I'm like, "Do we send messages? No, we know you're hurting, you know."
Yeah.
So in no way did I think that would be. Not at any point did I think that would be a repeat customer.
Right.
And it ended up being that now they're repeat customers because we know they're gonna. We always throw things in the boxes in our boxes to say thank you, and you
Right.
never know. You know, it just turned our personal lives of doing business different. Every single one of our orders go out with something that's matching whatever you purchased that you didn't even know you were getting.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, and on the university side, I think everybody took their stimulus check and signed up, signed up for the course.
Well, that's a good thing though.
Yes.
Reinvest.
Yes, I was really and truly happy to see that
Yes.
they did not just take the stimulus check and then buy it on immediate happiness things.
Right.
That they actually did. You know what? The government doesn't give us any money ever. Let's
Right.
take this money, invest in ourselves. And I've seen them make hundreds of thousands of dollars now from that one investment of that one check.
Wow.
So yes. Yeah.
And that's important, like you were saying, to reinvest and just, don't think about instant gratification, just think about the long term.
Yes.
And during COVID, as I was telling one of my friends, I said, you'll find that so many people started their own business during COVID.
Yes. Yeah, I can attest. I have numbers.
Yes.
Yes. This was the
I,
one time that I was really proud to be African American because our people did not just take the money and do nothing.
right.
We saw the value in if this could happen,
Right.
we need a backup plan.
Right.
Because so many of our students had lost their jobs and all they had left was a stimulus check.
Wow. Yeah.
And there was nowhere else to turn.
Right.
You couldn't go to get another job because jobs weren't hiring because of COVID.
Right.
So when your back's against the wall, you do what you need to do, and they did.
And I also feel like I'm a firm believer that it was all a reset for us. It was a reset to prioritize your life. And, because just think, if we did not go through COVID, people would have been living a norm, and we might not even be here conversating right now. So it was a situation to get people attention to wake up.
I think it was a two-parter.
Okay.
I think when 45 came into office, and seeing how the shift in what we thought was hidden,
right,
what we thought was dissipated, really came back and showed its ugly head again.
Right.
And added with the stimulus check, we were like, wow, America really don't got us. We got to get ourselves. And I think that was the two ignitions that needed to happen in order for us to move.
That's true. That's
because
true.
2 years after that, Forbes said that the majority of Black CEOs are women.
Wow. Yeah.
That said volumes. In 2 years, we made a difference.
Oh, yeah, that's key. That right there is like nothing else you can say after that. Because you know what I mean? Because before we were all, we as Black women, we always the underpaid. We don't get the promotion, the career advancement. So to hear that numbers and the impact that we're making is just, we got to keep pushing.
Yes, absolutely. And Amazon only have 32% women.
Wow.
And that's overall.
Okay.
So the number of Black women are even smaller.
Yeah.
So my goal is to get us not only to 95% women, but make that 95% a majority stake in the African American women.
Oh, I love it. So what advice would you give to someone that's listening? Like, I want to do it. I don't know. I'm scared. I have all these anxieties or fear. What advice would you give them?
I am so glad you brought that up, because that is the number one. Like when people come to me and go, I want to take your program, and that exactly is the reason why they don't start. Yeah. And I get it. And I had to, I'm from the Caribbean. Okay. So fear is not something necessarily that we have for doing something, because we're more scared of hurricanes than anything else. Yeah. And we've got to hustle. We have no other choice. Hustle or survive, but that's it, right?
Right.
I had to come and visit and go and learn African American history of here, and see what you have been through for me to finally understand where the fear came from.
Wow.
And then once I figured out, I won't say figured out, because you'll never really figure it out unless you actually walk the walk, right? I had to walk in their shoes for a moment and only imagine and relate to why the fear. And listen to the stories of the elders and the fear that was instilled in them, for me to be able to talk to you one-on-one and go, look, I understand your fear. It is rightfully so, right? But in order for you to push past those fears and live the life that only you can imagine and only you can dream, you've got to step.
Right.
You've got to believe in something. And I said, our greatest fear comes from jumping in to somebody else's dream. I want to walk in that person's shoes or be that person, instead of looking in our own shoes and go, I can be my own person.
Right.
I can do this and make it look my way.
Right.
We feed in too much to social norms. And we are uniquely us. So I've got to bring them back to understanding that your fear is because you're fearful of what your anticipation of somebody else's dream would look like.
Right.
You need to push yourself further to your own dreams and what that would look like. And you will see that once you've done that, the thing that you were fearful for didn't need to be.
True. That's true.
You're fearful because society has instilled fear in you before you were born.
Yep. I say that all the time. It's in our DNA. The fear is in our DNA. And then the thing about it is, like you hit on the key part, is that you can't look at everybody else's life. You have to look within yourself. Like, we all are here for a reason.
Yes.
And once you start living for your reason, you'll see how fast God start opening up doors, and whatever you're slacking, He will bring into your life. So it's
Absolutely.
like, so it's very, I mean, again, you even having your business in your class is showing that there's a need, to empower women of our background to be entrepreneurs, and you can make money on these platforms.
Yes. And I also look at myself as the visionary
Hmm.
because I know what I know about the fear, right?
Hmm.
I have to be in the position to be that unique individual that will not let you fail
Right. Right.
because others before me have.
Right.
Somebody has to be that beacon of hope.
Right.
And is it a difficult barrier to break? Yes.
Hmm.
But I've always taught that the thing that's the hardest thing for you to do is exactly the thing you should be doing.
Right. And what I love about you is that it's not like, oh, I'm gonna be your coach. You're able to meet people on their level, like you said. You went and did the research of why we have fear and things like that, and you're able to talk them through it. Whereas most coaches just want to say, sign up for my class, I can get you to make $1 million. But you're really conquering. Let's say you're taking a band-aid off of it,
Yes,
and you're getting to the wound of it.
yes, I have to.
Yeah.
I have to.
Yeah.
That's the
So
only way because I get it.
yeah.
I didn't. For a long time when I first moved here, I could not understand
Right.
because we're coming from two different worlds. And not only that, um, in the Caribbean, we were like 400 to 500 years free.
Right.
Whereas I'm walking in here and I'm meeting elders that were slaves. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like nobody crossed the boat and said, go to the Bahamas and let's see what they're doing over there. Like
Yeah.
it blew my mind of
Yeah.
how they were like so scared. Like I actually met a young lady my age that was there's a lake up here by me. It's a beautiful lake. I wish everybody could go see this lake. It's gorgeous, right?
Okay.
But the powers that be have convinced everybody that that's the Caucasian people's lake.
Okay.
And because it's the area in which it is and the history that it has, we are so fearful to go there. They were
Wow.
terrified. Like I had somebody crying
Wow.
because I live there. So I'm like, come up by me. I live up here. They're like, oh no, that's where they lynched all those people. I was like,
wow.
Come on. Like I live there and I'm not lynched.
Yeah.
And then they finally, they came, but the whole car ride coming up to me, she was crying.
Oh wow. Wow.
And then I had to, and I exposed her to it. We were walking around and she's like, look at all these people. And I'm like, how many of them are looking at you?
Right.
She's like, none. I said, why do you think that is? They're living their life.
Right. Right.
You are trapped
Yeah.
here, so consumed about what has happened to your forefathers and your foremothers, and that fear that you grew up and saw, that you don't realize that was meant for you to stop living. You've got to live. You know how many countries I've been to? I've been to 36 countries.
Wow.
And
wow.
a majority of them, it's been only me and my daughter.
Okay.
And nobody cares.
Wow. Yeah. Pretty much.
Nobody cares. Like I was on a plane with 1,200 passengers on this one plane going to Korea.
Okay.
And I looked around and I was like, wow, if anything happened to me, I'm sure nobody gonna notice. I was fearful because this is the first time I flew on my own, but I was determined that I was going to do it because I know that I wanted to see this country. In order to see this country, I've got to get on this plane. And I remember telling the stewardess, just remember that I'm the one in this seat. And she was cracking up. I was like, you sure you don't have nobody else on first class? Am I really it? She's like, yeah, for the whole plane. I was like, that's deep. And she started laughing and she's like, well, if anything, the captain's going to make sure they save you so that they can say that we saved the only Black person.
I love it.
And she made sure she checked on me the whole time because I made that, I'm like, I'm going down. Somebody will tell a story that they knew this woman in 41F,
I love it. Oh,
you just have to make your mark in the world and realize that the world is really not against you as much as you think,
right,
or as much as you thought.
That's
to
true.
think. It really isn't. The world is what you make it out to be. With
But
your
thank,
eyes wide open, though.
yeah, yeah, you better have your eyes open so you can see what's coming from the side, the back,
Right.
and the front.
Right. Without a doubt.
But thanks for stopping past and talking with me and dropping your knowledge. Like I said, I appreciate it, and just continue to kick butt and encourage and help people of all walks. I appreciate it.
I will. Absolutely, I will. And thank you for all that you're doing and spreading the word. This is great. This is absolutely amazing. Thank you.
Thank you. Hold on,
It's the hustle show. We motivate the glow. We give you more info. Divas run the cloud.